This is Abnormal Entertainment.
On the tube. No one cares what they have to say, but that doesn't stop them anyway. They scream, please, please, please. No more cinema head shit. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cinema Head Cheese Podshort for Defenders. This is Kevin Moyers, and there will be spoilers in this, not just for Defenders, but for other Marvel Netflix series, just to kind of get everybody caught up here. It's a little bit of a crazy mashup that everybody's been waiting for. It's 8 episodes. You have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist all in one show as a team-up. So, here's the deal. You get your ragtag bunch of misfits. Not quite like the Avengers. The Avengers were a little bit different because they were, they weren't misfits necessarily. You could say Tony Stark was, but, it's kind of hard to be the Elon Musk-esque misfit. Though he had a drinking problem and things like that had to be worked out. With this, you get sort of the fringes of society. You get, a broke lawyer with Matt Murdock. He works for the people, and the show starts with him winning an $11 million lawsuit for somebody, and he won it pro bono, which means he's got nothing. He has nothing. He works out of his home now. The office he shared with Foggy Nelson. Foggy now works for Jerry Hogarth and her law firm, and you know her from initially Jessica Jones, and then later she popped up in Iron Fist. So he works for her. She makes a brief appearance in this series. And that's kind of the beginning for him. We do start with Danny and Colleen, Iron Fist. I forget Colleen's future eventual name, like her comic book name. Like Rosaria Dawson's character, Claire. She's never called Night Nurse. That doesn't happen throughout this, even though that's her comic book name. But obviously it changed things like, costumes. Jessica Jones does not wear the goofy thing with the big purple jewel, even though they quickly reference it. Obviously Luke Cage doesn't wear the tiara and the blouse. But, again, they did a good job referencing that. Iron Fist, we have yet to see. He has the tattoo, Danny Rand, but he doesn't have the headscarf yet. Although I don't know if we'll ever see that. The only person that wears as close to the traditional costume as possible is Daredevil. And, it's different than the comic books. It's not just this spandex shit. It's Kevlar, and if you remember in Season 1, if you watched it, he had the guy, I can't remember his name, really great character, but he just wanted his family to be safe. And in exchange for making the suit, Matt says, I will protect your family, make them a priority. I need your help. Help me protect them. Help me protect the city. And he does. And so he has his, his suit made that way, which is really cool. And they even go through different iterations of it, which is nice because it's like, well, okay, this worked, but let's tweak it here. Let's do it. Sort of like Cisco does with the Flash, that kind of thing, which is cool. So Colleen and Danny are basically hunting down the Hand. Kowloon, his city that he's supposed to have protected, has disappeared, seemingly might be damaged, not sure, and he's chasing down these members of the Hand. The Hand is 5 fingers, one who was killed off in Iron Fist. Again, I told you there were spoilers. But he was killed off in Iron Fist. when Colleen thought the hand was a good thing and she was a member of it before she really realized what they were doing. You get a new member this time around. Others we've seen, but Sigourney Weaver, who's pretty much the leader of the hand, which, again, is new. Madame Gao is the one member that we've seen heavily throughout. She's in it, and it's great to see her defer to someone else. It's like, oh, this whole time I thought she was like the leader. That's how she's seemingly presented. But Sigourney Weaver is that, and she's very ill. She is having all kinds of issues with her organs being ready to shut down and so on and so forth. So she brings back, if you remember season 2 of Daredevil, we see Elektra killed and, in a way, I don't want to say mummified because that didn't happen, but entombed as a mummy would be. So that happens. So Sigourney Weaver, her character, she brings Elektra back as the Black Sky. She's somehow going to help them all get back to Kowloon and take it over again. All return to it because that's where they all came from, the 5 members of the hand. And as we go through Defenders, we see the different members of the hand get challenged. One is captured by Luke Cage. One is the one that was supposedly killed, and Iron Fist comes back from the dead because they have some sort of a substance. This is black substance that they can use to bring people back, which is how they bring Elektra back. And Elektra doesn't know she's Elektra. She thinks she's this Black Sky character, but she has some memories in a way, and spares Matt's life more than once because he was able to reach her. There's so much going on in here in 8 short little episodes that it's really great. Luke Cage and Iron Fist meet in an alley on kind of different sides of a situation. There's a kid that from Harlem that his mom goes to Luke and says, can you help him? He's getting into trouble and stuff like that. Luke follows him to this place where there are these dead bodies, and the kid is one of the people there to clean up. So he's there to get him and go, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Kind of shake him out of it. Meanwhile, Iron Fist is there because he's a bad guy. The kid's a bad guy. I mean, he is. He's not some kid he's trying to protect, and he and Colleen are to fight them, and that's when Iron Fist and Power Man first come together, and Danny lights up the fist and knocks Luke right in the face, and you actually see, like, if you remember in Luke Cage, there was a scene where a dude punches him, and you watch his hand just crumble. It was phenomenal. One of my favorite scenes in that, in slow motion, just Well, in this one, you see almost that same shot, but Danny's lit up fist hits Luke, and you see Luke's whole face just go like, and he goes flying across the alley. He's like, what the fuck? It's pretty great. So, it's just, there's so much great stuff like that. Stick is back to help bring these 4 together, and kind of, everybody starts telling their story, revealing things. Matt's the most secretive of the bunch. Karen is in it. She's like, but Matt, you're doing so good not being a superhero. I'm living a normal life. And he's like, I am this. So fuck off, bitch. I'm Daredevil. Go fuck yourself. I'm the devil of Hell's Kitchen. Stop trying to make me something I'm not. Stop trying to get in my way. Don't be a dream killer. Even though they're not really a couple. She's a reporter, as she, became in the second season, and was reporting on his big $11 million thing, and then going from there. So, and you do get the group of loved ones from the 4 shows. You have Karen and Foggy, because the hand is threatening to attack their loved ones, right? So Claire and Luke go to Misty Knight, And, Misty comes looking for Luke because she thinks he did some shit. He just got out of jail. And she's like, all right, are you involved with this? But, he's not. And so he gets her to kind of set up a room in the police station to protect the loved ones of the 4 defenders. And so you get Foggy and Karen brought in there. You get, or is Foggy brought in? I can't remember. I don't remember if he's in the room. But he's there, significantly. But anyway, the 2 of them are there. You get Jessica's sister. You get, I'm trying to think of who else. Jessica's neighbor is not there in the police station, I don't believe. But he does work for her now. He serves as sort of a secretary. He's trying to get her apartment / office together, like her living room's the office, if you remember. He's trying to get that shit cleaned up for her because, of course, he's not on drugs anymore because Purple Man's gone. So he's not under that. But he's clean and tip-top. And, doing what he can to help her out, even though she tells him he's a pain in the ass. But he's like, I don't care. I'm going to help you keep your shit together and keep your business together. Let's see. Who else is in there? Danny really doesn't have anybody that needs to go in there because, it's him and Colleen. But, Colleen ends up staying there because she gets injured. Otherwise, she could really go out with the 4 of them. But, they have to find a way to keep that core of the 4 characters, build them first, and then expand. Because, obviously, Claire has done a lot of training to fight, and Colleen is a fighter. So, she's back there, and Colleen and Claire are best friends, basically. And they show that. Like, they spend a lot of time together through this series, and you can tell their friendship is good. And Claire's the one that actually, after Luke gets punched in the face by Danny, he's like, yeah, it's this little dude with a glowing fist. And she's like, oh, Jesus, come on. And then she goes and introduces the 2 of them, and it's like, you guys are going to be friends. So, I don't know. I'm all over the place here, but there's so much stuff. It's such a fun series, and only 8 episodes was good, because it got to the story start to finish. It has a crazy ending, which I'm not going to spoil. Stuff happens with Stick and Elektra. That's really intense. Members of the Hand start falling. I will say, Gao, she's too strong. They couldn't do anything to get rid of her. She's too good of a villain. We don't see Punisher. We don't see Wilson Fisk. We don't see Diamondback. What else? Misty Knight. There's the thing where she has a robotic arm in the comics. And when I think she gets shot in the arm or something happens in Luke Cage. What was it? I think she was shot. Anyway, her arm is injured. The end of Luke Cage. People are like, oh yeah, it probably gets infected. She loses it. Robot arm. No, not at all. In fact, they address it in a different manner. Her and losing an arm in a very different way in this series. So it's really good. It's best of the best from each series. Different people from each series have an impact on the story, so nobody gets kind of left behind. It's almost like when the CW did the Invasion thing. Except for Supergirl, because it's on a different, it's on Earth 38, so it's like you can't really start the story there. But each of the other 3 shows did an episode focused on the characters from each of those shows, the side characters, and they did a good job bringing all the side characters in Defenders. So I really enjoyed it. I'm going to watch it a second time. This is what I'm going to watch. I watched parts of both seasons of Daredevil a second time. Like, I knew which episodes I wanted to see the most. Jessica Jones I haven't rewatched any of. Iron Fist I will not. There's no purpose. And Luke Cage, I've rewatched some of too, but Defenders I will watch start to finish. It's tight. It's just solid all the way through. Danny's fighting, much improved. It's not slow and stilted and choreographed looking like the first. And it's not just like, hey, speeding up film, because there are scenes where you have all four guys fighting at once, and actually more than four. Sometimes Colleen's in there, sometimes Stick is in there. So, you can't just like speed up a frame or a segment of a frame, that's much improved. They did a great job with that. And, there was another point I wanted to make with it. Oh, the hallway scene. As ordered, they love their fucking hallways. So that happens too. But it's great, start to finish. I loved it. I will watch it again. The ending was exciting. Everything's just good. And the way they form into a team is great. It takes time, as it should, but it's great. And, they disagree about stuff, and there's a point where it's kind of 3-on-1, one situation, but it's really cool, and I enjoyed every bit of it. So, Defenders on Netflix, and if you haven't watched the other 4 series, you really should. Iron Fist is not great. I'm going to say it flat out. It's not great, but it's decent. I have a lot of complaints about it. If you listen to that Head Cheese podcast, we all had complaints about Iron Fist. Plain and simple. There's a lot of shit could have been better. But there are elements of that show that are important to this. And remember, that's the one that immediately precedes this. So there is important stuff there. There's going to be important stuff there. They're not going to just ignore that and jump right into Defenders. So, don't go, oh, God. Don't think of it as homework. I mean, it's part of the story. And sometimes there are going to be slower parts and faster parts. And this is one of the faster parts. It's really great. So check it out, Defenders on Netflix. And you know what? If you want to skip the others and watch Defenders, you'll figure it out. Nothing's too difficult. The member of the hand that was killed in Iron Fist, you go, wait, how does he connect? Or, there might be some confusing stuff there if you don't watch it. But overall, I'm looking forward to another Defenders season. Or maybe just plain and simple, this leading to them crisscrossing each other's series. Because that would be fine too. I mean, Luke Cage started in Jessica Jones. They've all fought Elektra now. So the side characters crisscross all the time. But maybe have Karen doing a story on something Danny Rand did in his company, or whatever bullshit. As much as I don't like her character, but Foggy works for Hogarth now. So there's a cross right there. You're connecting 2 series. 3 really, because Hogarth did have a part in Iron Fist, so you're linking 3 of them together there. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage already linked together. It's Power Man and Iron Fist, so those guys are linked anyway. And of course, the Night Nurse goes through all 4. So, and actually, she's one of the more enjoyable parts of Iron Fist. And Colleen's great too. So watch Iron Fist. Don't shit on it. Just give it a shot. You're gonna have complaints, but that's fine. So yeah, highly recommended. Defenders, watch it. There you go. Thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Movie Pass. We've had ads for Movie Pass on these shows for a while now, and they just dropped their price from $30 a month to $10 a month, and expanded the theaters that you can use it in. So for $10 a month, and they're owned by Netflix. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was created by the people that created Netflix. So now it's like Netflix for the theater. So for $10 a month, that's one movie. You pay for. Do you go to one movie a month? Do you go to one movie a month? You probably do. Think about that. Even if there's a month you don't go, there's another month you go to 2 or 3, like in the summer, when the big blockbusters come out. Or February now, it seems to be a blockbuster kind of month. Stuff like Deadpool, or even in the beginning of March was Logan, and the superhero stuff gets spread all out. November is Thor Ragnarok. If you're in the Defenders, you're going to be into all these kind of things. So, and you know what? Attendance in theaters is down. Help them out. Help them keep making good movies, because a lot of good stuff has been out. And $10 a month. Your kid wants to go see something shitty like the Emoji Movie. Ugh. Which I had to do. I wouldn't have felt bad paying for that movie or going to that movie if I didn't pay for it. If it was part of just my movie. Like, we got the movie pass. Fuck it, let's go. So, Movie Pass, $10 a month. Click the banner at cinemaheadcheese.com or abnormalentertainment.com and get your pass through them, and then we get a little kickback, and it helps keep us going. Because I have to pay for hosting, kids. This isn't free for me. It's free for you, but it's not free for me. So if you're going to get Movie Pass, head to cinemaheadcheese.com or abnormalentertainment.com. $10, man. $10. That is, you're paying for one movie. You can go to a movie every single day. Every single day on that $10. Think about that. Think about that. 30 days, that's $300 worth of movies for $10. Even if you go once a week, you're saving, you know what I mean? You're saving at least $30 a month. At least. So do that, and you're helping us out. We appreciate it. So anyway, cinemaheadcheese.com, abnormalentertainment.com for all of our shows, reviews, movie releases, things like that we post up there. And, we're working on the Cinema Head Cheese book. Hope to have that done by the end of the year. Not sure, because it's pretty hefty. We keep adding to it. So, but we'll find a cutoff point and get things done. So, but thank you guys for listening. I'm going to have a few of these recorded to spread out over the next few weeks. So, yeah, thanks. And we'll see you next time. Subscribe and download back episodes of Cinema Head Cheese the podcast, and read all of our movie reviews and news at cinemaheadcheese.com. Email us at cinemaheadcheese@yahoo.com. Search Cinema Head Cheese on Facebook and tweet us at CINHeadCheese. And for more podcasts, books, comics, blogs, and videos, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.